Okay, hey guys, welcome back to the Sisterhood podcast. And my name is Fatma.
I'm Fatwa.
Rio.
Yeah, and we wanted to continue our conversation from part one. So if you missed that video, you should go check it out. It's about our 2024 year in review. And in this one, we want to talk about 2025 and our BHAGs. So,
All right, so plot twist 2025. We haven't really talked about how to frame this or how to word it, but we got to a point where in 2024 where we were like, do we really want to set goals for 2025? Is it worth it? Because they don't come true. Because the big man upstairs just looks down and is laughing. In the most loving way, right? But essentially, we just figured life just kind of happens. And yes, it's important to set goals, but it's also important to be present and take life by what you're given, because at the end of the day, life is going to happen to you. And if you're so focused on the goals that you've set, you're going to miss everything else that's happening. And I think we've kind of sort of been disappointed by our goal setting. She talked a lot about specifically setting words for her year. Again, go watch part one if you haven't seen it, but it can sometimes leave you feeling disappointed, and so we're kind of excited to try out not setting goals.
And it feels more fun because it's like, ooh, where's life going to take me? Whereas when you're making goals, you're like, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this, and that, and it doesn't work out or come true. So.
Yeah, and to be honest, at first, this idea of not making goals for 2025 came from a hopeless place, right? After being dragged this entire year, we're like, do we even want to have aspirations for the next year? So it started out hopeless. But now it's more of like empowering in the fact that we are making the choice to not set very rigid, specific goals, and more so of just like learning to be present, learning to know what is in our control. And so personally for me, I'm more focused on like just newer experiences, newer challenges, and things that I can like easily check off, because I'm not reaching for the moon here. I'm just doing like movies that I've never seen. Easy. I can watch a movie I've never seen. And that way I can also let other really important things in my life happen, and that way I'm not sticking to a specific timeline and feeling disappointed every so often in 2025. So,
and we obviously do set goals. Sometimes we'll do monthly goals, but even then, in the middle of the month, something happens and you're like, okay, now I have to focus on this. And that's okay. Like, whatever happens.
I feel like we do like our major and minor. And that's a little softer. It's a little like not so expectant. I don't know. And so I feel like that's the energy I want to take into to 2025. Just like.
And just to expand that a little bit, I saw a video on Instagram or TikTok, whatever, and it was these girls, and they talked about what their major and their minor was, which their major is what they're focusing on, like your major in college, and then your minor is like just a subtopic that you're focusing on. And so that was really cool and helpful when we did that.
But it was on a much smaller scale, and I feel like you can see.
And we actually all achieved. Like, we did it in the summer, and we actually all achieved our majors and minors.
I know that hit. That was the first time
That's so true. I feel like it's important to note, like, again, like she said, we do make goals. We do try to form certain habits, like taking care of ourselves, sleeping well, exercise, all of that. But I think that the biggest lesson I've learned this year so far is that, like, habits take time to form and to be solidified, and it's okay for you to adapt, right? It's okay for you to say, oops, scratch that doesn't work for me. I need to exercise in the morning instead of at night, right? Allow yourself to figure out what works for you, and it doesn't have to be this hard set goal that your whole life is dependent on, but like just allowing yourself to know that like habits is just a part of life, and you can just work on that leisurely, or like, you know, more without pressure is what I'm trying to say.
I agree.
And before the haters come for us, there are specific times in your life where, your whole purpose is to set a goal or whatever. And I think that there are also going to be people out there who are avid goal setters. And at the end of the day, I think we're all trying to achieve the same thing. We're just going about it differently because we're at different points of our lives. Like she mentioned, we were very hopeless and traumatized and pessimistic. And so we thought, let's chill.
Yeah.
And there may be somebody who's very determined and ready to like finally work hard in their lives and achieve a certain goal, amazing. Like, yes. So just don't come for us.
Yeah, honestly.
But if you want to join us, let us know if you're not going to set goals for 2025 either.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens.
And something new that we've been doing, it's been like, what, a year? Only we've done it like once or twice, where at the end of the year we make a PowerPoint. I guess this year will be our second time doing this, where we make a PowerPoint just kind of highlighting the year that we've gone through, the good and the bad, and I think that's way much more fun, right? And with 2025, I'm looking forward to see what happens, the things that are in my control that I do achieve, and then what I can report at the end of the year, what I can laugh about with my sisters, what I can celebrate about with my sisters and all of that. So
Yeah.
I think we're all in a really exciting time in our lives. Like, you're going to be done with high school, and both of us, we are done with college, but it's like, what's next? Like, the world is our oyster.
No,
and it's really
truly.
exciting.
I was actually thinking, like, I don't know, sometimes when I sit down and think about it, it's like, what is going to happen next? Like, next big thing, and it's so interesting. And, like, when I look at, you know, the entirety of our lives, like, each and every single one of us, like, I feel like it's had a rough start, but it's gone on a steady up climb, a slow up climb, and so, like, slow. So I'm excited to see the good things that will start to happen. Like, that's what I'm looking forward to, honestly.
I have a question. So my question is, in relation to pop culture, what are some of your predictions for 2025?
Oh, I'm so bad at this.
Yeah, I can't. Like,
some of my favorite things to predict.
Okay, this is just been on my mind, but let it be known I said this in 2024. Kardashians. I don't know what, but they're just big on my mind. I don't know what's going to happen but Kardashians. That's all I have to say.
Good, bad, surprising.
Not good.
Oh.
But don't come for me.
Oh,
Nobody come for me.
Well, here's a good prediction. Zendaya and Tom Holland will get married.
You think?
Or the reveal that they secretly got married.
You think?
And then just send out wedding photos.
That'd be cute. Honestly,
I can see them
it's
doing
been
that.
some time. Girl, it's been since 2017. Like,
Also, pop culture, I feel like Jackie Aina is going to come out and be like, yeah, we've been married this whole time.
no, she did.
She did?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, she changed her name on TikTok to Asamoah. She was like, yeah, I'm married.
This is what happens when you're off of TikTok.
Yeah. Queen's
Oh
married.
my god. I knew she was going to have a private wedding. I've been waiting for Jackie Aina's wedding photos.
Yeah. I don't think she'll ever share them, but all power
And
to
you know
her.
what? More power to her because
Yeah.
privacy is important.
No, pretty
In
hard.
2025, I need One Direction to give me something. I need, like, tell me that the reunion tour is going to happen in 10 years or something. Like, it doesn't have to be in 2025, but post again on the page. Just something.
Yeah.
Something.
They still
Yeah.
posting on their page?
Yeah.
We're not a group.
Last time they posted was 2020, but anyway.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't honestly have any predictions. I'm not, like, super intuitive for the
Yeah.
entire world. So.
Okay, so we're gonna transition into our BHAGs. You guys, I learned the word BHAG, I think my freshman year of college, and I don't know, me and that word, we just gravitated towards each other, and I can't let it go, so I've been like begging them to do this video. So BHAG stands for Big, Hairy, Audacious Goals, and essentially it's your goals, like your wildest dreams. If you can make them come true, what would it be? And so I'm really excited for us to just like dive into that. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about in an ideal world, in the world that we live in. We'll talk about professionally, creatively, just everything. So let's get started. Okay.
Get started! Okay. I don't even know where to start.
I have to say that I did, when I first learned about BHAGs, I wrote down my BHAGs at the time, and I just have to read those. I just have to.
Sure.
And they've changed. But, so, be a doctor without borders. You guys, I thought I was going to be a doctor. And then
That's a cool goal, though, without borders.
yeah, Doctors Without Borders is a really cool program and mission. But, I went to college and I took a physics class and I was like, the same for me. And
Really? Is that really what happened?
Yes.
I was talking to someone the other day and they were like, yeah, I wanted to be a math teacher, but I took a math class in college and I changed my major 2 weeks in. I was like, Dang.
I also just didn't know what med school was. Yeah. I thought you could major in nursing and then go to med school. They looked at me so crazy.
Dang.
And
like you could.
Oh, you could. No, for sure. You could be a doctor and a lawyer.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want in this world, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
Anywho, that was one goal that I had. Another one was to have a huge family. I wanted 10 kids since I can remember,
really
but
for the longest time.
And then another one was to travel to a lot of really cool places, which isn't really BHAG, but it was for me at the time.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Interesting. What is the one dream that I've always had? If I pursued fearlessly, it would change the course of my life forever.
Ooh. You guys, I started YouTube like 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh. No, she's the real influencer.
When I was a senior in high school, when YouTube was just like still a baby, when Jackie Aina was like still climbing up, when Patricia Bright was still, you know, early on in her journey, I used to love watching them. And then I ran into like book bloggers or vloggers, I guess, people who like read books, review them, and post their videos on YouTube. I was like, I can do that. And so I did. I don't know how long I did it, but like I posted a lot of videos of book reviews, and I feel like if I had stuck with that, I know my life would be so different.
Yeah.
Would be crazy. I don't even know if I would have gone to college. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, she said like if it popped off, she wouldn't have gone to college.
It would have been crazy, yeah.
But I think that's so interesting. I remember because during that time we were living in a house that had a basement, and she kind of lived in this basement-esque room. Mm-hmm. I remember she would put a sticky note on the wall, like filming, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, she's in there, like recording a video.
Wow.
No,
yeah.
that's funny.
Mm-hmm. Okay, another question is...
You guys gotta answer.
So, I did audition for Disney Channel once, and they wanted me. The way you guys turned your heads, I can't wait for the video evidence. I got the part, and my life would have been so different. I would have been.
It would have been
Dun,
different.
dun, dun, dun.
But,
all of our lives would have been different.
no, yeah.
I also there's no dream that I had that was like yours, where you were actually pursuing it. Mm-hmm. I would just sit back in my little corner and be like, haha, I'm gonna be a cardiothoracic surgeon with 10 kids. But, like, I didn't do anything to pursue it. So I don't really have a dream that if I pursued it, I'd be somewhere different. Except maybe, like, music and dancing. I did show choir in high school, and I really, really, really loved that. Yeah. But I was like, I'm not good enough to go into that. But I could have, but...
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, there wasn't anything that I pursued. I did a lot, though. I did a lot. I used to want to be a fashion designer, so I would get a bunch of, like, fabric that my dad had and, like, sew things together by hand, and... I mean, that could have gone somewhere, but it didn't. I used to do YouTube, too, when I was a kid.
She did. Makeup.
Yeah.
You wanted to be a beauty blogger.
Yeah, I really did.
Yes.
One is that, so before moving to where I live now, I'm just imagining, like, if I stayed there and I had a dream school that was out of the state, like, imagining, like, if I went there, but now I'm living somewhere else and... planning on attending somewhere else, so I just think that's interesting. I don't know, nothing
you
crazy.
Also a great painter, so I don't know if you ever dreamed of being a
I
painter.
did. I have a lot of dreams and passions. I guess we can talk about that a little later, but I can't really choose between all of them. It's what's a dream I've never dared to speak out loud because it feels too out there, and what's one small step I can take to explore it. So it's kind of like, what would I do now?
Y'all know I'm avoiding. Y'all reaching the depth.
No, you're okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
There's a dream you don't want to share with us?
No, it's just like y'all asking me to extract my heart.
This is why she struggles with therapy.
This is called SisterHood Unscripted for a reason. We be coming for each other's throats.
You don't have to include that.
I think we should. Why not?
Yeah. Okay.
This is our real sisterhood.
No, truly. Go ahead.
Why do I have to go first?
Okay, fine. Also go first.
I thought you wanted to go first.
Wait, can I go first?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, guys. Okay, so...
I don't know.
In another universe, in a world that wasn't as so crazy as ours, I would want to be a singer. Because I love to sing so much. I love music.
Wow.
A couple months ago, I tried to take singing lessons, but they were pricey, so I said, let me chill. But It was like my heart actually sparked on fire. Also, the first time I watched the Eras Tour, like in movie theaters by myself, I was like, I could do that. I could do that. I don't know if it's something that I would actually try to pursue, and I don't know. It's not because like I don't think I'm good enough or whatever, but just because of the world we live in and like.
And what
things
variation
like that.
could you pursue that? Even if it's personal for you.
Yeah, I think about it in personal ways. I'm like, I can write things by myself, and I love to write. I can, sing in my own personal time. It's nothing that I necessarily have to go and try to be famous.
And later, when you can afford singing lessons, you can take it just to improve your voice for yourself. Right. And then maybe even later, depending on where you live, you can join like a community choir.
Yeah. Or I even think about like one day, like I can sing for people's weddings or just like local things like that, like nothing crazy.
So for me, I have an answer to your question in terms of what is something that if I pursued fearlessly right now, my life would be different. And one of those things, I've thought a lot about law school, but I don't necessarily know if that's the route that I want to go. But I've always wanted to make a difference, and I've always wanted to work with underrepresented, underprivileged minority groups. Yeah. I obviously living in poverty and being around it and understanding what it means to be underprivileged. I've always had the desire to help people, and I've always just been like, there's just no way I can't do something about that. Like if I am privileged in any way, shape, or form, I have to help other people. And as I've gone older, I've noticed how much law and government and policies play a role in why people are underprivileged and underserved. And so that's why I've thought a lot about law school. But I don't really care what path I take to get there. Obviously, I think lawyers have a really unique platform in being able to help people. And that's another thing about me is I just love helping people. And when people go to a lawyer, they trust them with their lives, and that's not something that I take lightly. And I'd love to be able to prove to myself and to the world that, like, I don't know. But if that's something that if I pursued fearlessly, it would change my life. Am I going to? I don't know. Because I don't know what route I want to take, and I don't necessarily see a vision of everything playing out. But I know you also asked, like, what could you do, one small thing to pursue that right now? And I need to study for the LSAT because I'm not going to law school without that. So
yeah.
True.
And I've also thought about I need to start working or volunteering with different programs and groups and nonprofit organizations, and that's something that I feel like I've been procrastinating or putting off. But it's like even if I don't go to law school, like that's still something I need to get experience in and working in. And so I've been trying to figure out how to balance that all into my life.
So what is something that I could pursue fearlessly and how it would change my life? I feel like, just a background a little bit, I decided I wanted to be a therapist when I was like a sophomore in high school, and I stuck to that. I stuck to my guns. Could I tell you how I could be a therapist, like what the path looks like in high school? I couldn't tell you what that looked like at all. I just knew I needed to go to college. So anyways, I figured it out in college. I became a therapist, but because I focused on it for so long, like 10 plus years, I never really gave space for other dreams, right? For other ideas, other goals in life in terms of like career stuff. Or like way of living, to be honest. And so I don't hate being a therapist. I still think it's something I needed to go through, and I still think it's something that's important for me to be in right now, and I love it. But also looking back in my college years, I love languages. I love world affairs, and our school has this like center for like all the like international affairs stuff, and I was not building all the time. They would bring in all these like prominent people and like diplomats and stuff to give different lectures, whether it's about religion or this and that. I was there, or like women's rights around the world. And so I feel like if I had paid attention a little bit more to that and noticed that part of my interest, I think I would have maybe chose a different master's program. Maybe I would have done international relations and became a diplomat. And to be honest, that's still a dream that I have, but it's not something I'm working on right now. I think I still need to establish myself a little bit more in my therapy journey, and then like maybe 10 years from now, become a diplomat, because to be honest, I still have the goal, and I want to make a difference in the world just a little bit differently.
Yeah. I guess I kind of already answered the question, but a different answer I have is blogging. I started a blog maybe like a month ago, but I've had the idea since last year, but I just started like working on it and actually doing something about it.
Follow her on Substack.
I've kind of procrastinated it or put it off, but I think if I really like, was disciplined and like put everything into it, it could grow into something really cool, but I'm just lazy. So.
And maybe more guidance too, or like shadowing bloggers.
Yeah, I think with painting too, like I feel like there's a lot of things that I could pick from that, would take me far, make my life look a little different.
Into that.
Wait,
whatever you wanted to.
I have one last question.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What are the non-negotiable elements of my dream life, and how can I prioritize them now?
Whoa.
That is such a good question.
I know.
Non-negotiables.
I see you, chat.
I know.
Hey, she is. I kind of have an answer.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's not a fully formed thought, but non-negotiables to my dream life. Non-negotiables is living abroad. And I keep having to push that goal, but that's okay because we're learning. Some things take time. And so yeah, non-negotiable is living abroad. Non-negotiable is healthy lifestyle to the best of my ability. Like learning about the foods that work for me and my body. Non-negotiable is kind of exercise in whatever format. For me, it's like yoga and Pilates, just because like it's just one of the necessities in life. Like your muscles like degenerate over time as you age, and so it's just really important to take care of yourself. It helps with sleep and all of that.
Non-negotiable, finding communities wherever I go, especially if I end up traveling a lot and living in different countries.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's all I can think of right now. Maybe you guys have more that will like spark me, but
Yeah. I mean, I have some. I think non-negotiables are having my mental health in a better place. I know sometimes like life can really get in the way, but I think you can get to a good place, and I want to have hope that I can get to a really good place. I think living in a place that I love, and is like tailored to me. And one last thing, well, I guess two things, having connections in any way that takes form, and career-wise. Having this conversation kind of makes me think like, I feel like I will not be like right now I've been struggling with, well, what do I want to do long-term career-wise, and I'm not really putting pressure on myself because I know that changes and it's not something you can decide so young or just randomly. But it's been hard because when I think about one thing that I really, really love, it still feels like it's not enough. Like singing, like if I just did that one thing, like it would feel like it's not enough. Or if I did writing or painting, like somehow it doesn't feel like it would fulfill me. And somehow it feels like even if I did all of those things at different times, it wouldn't be enough. I feel like I've been really understimulating in the things that I do, so I feel like I'm craving kind of a fast-paced kind of lifestyle. So I think that's something that I'm interested in for a while, but I'm sure I'll need rest after that. But yeah.
Okay, so one non-negotiable definitely is being true to myself and my values and my morals, and making sure I'm okay. Like at the end of the day, I don't care how much money I have. I don't care what my house looks like. I don't care what car I have. Like those things are just an addition to life. But at the end of the day, I just have to make sure I am mentally sane. Like I think that's actually one of my biggest fears is to lose myself mentally or emotionally. And
like brain health.
Just so like she was saying, health in terms of
exercise, eating right, and taking in good things for me. I'm talking about social media, the people I interact with, the environments that I'm in. Like, those things are really, really, really important to me.
Yeah.
And so, like, at the end of the day, I would rather live in a really small house, but have everything that I need. I'm eating healthy foods. I'm able to go to the gym and work out and exercise and connect with people that make me feel like I belong and love me. So that's one huge thing that is a non-negotiable. I don't know. I was thinking another non-negotiable. It kind of connects to this. This is not gonna make any sense, but one non-negotiable for me is if I have kids, like, I will be the best mother for them. Like, I just cannot be in a place where I have kids and I cannot be the best mother for them. So that's just a non-negotiable. If I am a mom, I am going to be the best mom. And obviously, you can't be perfect and whatnot, but that is also something that I do not take lightly, and it is a non-negotiable. So whatever I have to do in my life to make that possible, I will do. Because I will not screw up.
Waiting to have kids at the right time.
Right.
Is the
I don't
right
care
time.
what people think, but there's no the perfect time, the right time. But, like, if I had kids right now, I would not be able to feel that non-negotiable. And maybe it's just tied to what you value in terms of motherhood.
Yeah, true.
And how you view that. And for me, I want to be able to really pour all of me into my kids, and I want to make sure I'm in a place where I can do that. And for me, that means being in a financially stable place, because I am not in any way, shape, or form. And my parents were not. And bless their hearts, they still brought us into this world and gave us a good life, but like, it's not been easy, and life isn't gonna be easy. But I do think that there are things that I can prevent my kids from experiencing. And again, like, if I'm gonna bring them into this world, it is going to be a great experience. And there will be hard things, but it will not be me.
And you'll be there for them at least.
Exactly.
That is so funny.
One last, I guess, question we can end on is, if there were no limits on time, money, or opportunity, what wild dream would I chase first? And how would I start right now? But before that, I've been doing that a lot. I feel like I've been talking about my dreams and, like, things in a way of which it's like, well, I don't have control over everything, so maybe I won't have a family, or maybe I won't get married or live in this place, because we have to live in that mindset because of the world we live in. But we don't really give each other space, or maybe ourselves space, to live in that perfect world of, like, well, if I could, like, I'd have this and that. But yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like, I want to have hope that I can have the life that I would want in a perfect world, but it's hard because, like, we don't live in one, so I have to be realistic.
Right.
And, like, I was even thinking about what Nosa said, because she was like, in 10 years time, like, I want to do this and that, but it's like, and I agree with that, and I think that's so awesome, whatever, but, like, it sucks because we don't live in a perfect world, and we don't know if we'll wake up the next day, so it's like, in our lives, we don't get the chances to kind of live this dream life, because you never know what's going to happen. And so I wish that, like,
there was more certainty.
Yeah, but that's not really.
It kind of ties back into what we were saying about, like, not setting goals for 2025. It's like, you don't know what's going to happen. You just take what you were given and move on. You make something of it.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah.
Back to your question.
If there are no limits on time, money, or opportunity, what would you do first, like, with your dreams?
So this is this is where the ideal comes in, like,
no
in a perfect
world.
world.
Time, money, and what?
Opportunity.
Opportunity. Ooh. Okay, super random.
Also, no limit on, like, my mental capacity and emotional capacity and physical
No limit
capacity.
on mental health capacities. Truth.
I guess we can tailor that to what your dream life would be, like what you would be doing. I feel like that's more realistic.
My dream real life would be being married to a diplomat, living in different countries. I could be the diplomat too. That's fine.
She started her list. That's what.
Listen, raising kids around the world, and also being a voice actor. actress.
Yeah, that's something that she's wanting to be.
I would love to.
That's
be
new.
Oh,
No,
it's so fun.
It's so old, actually. We would talk about this all the time.
Yes, I've always wanted to be a voice actress. 100%.
Why do you ostracize me?
Okay. Because like it's ideal in the sense that like I would be having really fun opportunities. I would be engaging in a creative job. I'd be connecting with so many different people, whether it's directors, other actors. I'd be able to tell stories, but also kind of have more of a private life.
No one would know who you are.
Yeah.
People don't really know like voice actors like that. Sometimes we don't know that they voiced a cartoon character in another movie. Like we don't know like 100%. Sandra Bullock voiced this character.
Or like Ashley Tisdale was Candace on Phineas and
I know that.
Like,
I didn't know that for the longest time. I know. It was obvious.
Yeah.
Totally obvious.
but when you don't have a face.
Or you know the show Everybody Hates Chris and his wife.
Chris Rock.
Yeah.
What's his
Greg?
Greg, the guy who plays Greg is Phineas in Phineas and Ferb.
That's insane. I did not know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
And so like he's famous, but he still has more like nobody's bothering him.
But he is famous because of Everybody Hates Chris. Like if I saw him walking down the street, I'm like, Greg.
Yeah, but like he doesn't have the same like obligations placed on him as other A-list celebrities. He gets to live more peacefully even if he signs autographs on the street. Does that make sense? And to be honest, it's not even about just being a quiet, rich, like famous person. It's more about, I think it'd just be way fun for me to like, I think it'd be creative, it'd be playful for me to play different characters but just using my voice. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Wait. And then my ideal life would also have a garden. But if I'm moving around so much, I don't know how I'd have a garden. And I would open a school for girls. And I would open a shelter for women in Africa, in Sudan, okay? I don't know. Just, I feel like I couldn't do one thing either.
Yeah.
If there were no limits to money, resources, or time. I'm doing everything, and you know it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go?
You can go.
Okay. I don't know. Okay, there also has to be no pain. Like, I can't feel pain, physical or any, like, y'all, my ideal world, everything's perfect.
This is how you know we're hurt. We're listing all the things that should not happen.
Yeah. Right, in a perfect world.
In a perfect world.
But,
we've been through it.
I would love to be a show choir director. Absolutely. It's not something that I can pursue right now just because of everything else I want to pursue. And, like, I'm not naturally good at music and that kind of thing, but I hope that one day I get my guest appearance and that I get to just do my little thing for a second. I just love dancing, music, and I love cleaning performances. Like, yeah, I love cleaning shows.
I have a question. Okay. Sorry. I have a question.
Yeah.
As a show choir director, what do you do the day of the performance?
You scream and cry. I'm just kidding.
You're like in the audience, like waving and like, you know,
when
like
they're performing.
Like there's a band director, he's up there or she's up there, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they're conducting. What do you do as a?
You're backstage.
Yeah, you
watching
are
them
backstage.
That was dumb.
You can be in the crowd watching them. It just really depends on what the
circumstances are.
Director wants to do. Honestly.
Okay. Anyways, go on. Yeah. Your ideal life.
Yeah, I would love to do that. Obviously, I've talked about law school and something in that field, right? Yeah. I'd love to, this is also something so random, but just like rebuild communities that have been neglected, particularly ones that have Black and brown people that live in them. I would love to build those up and build facilities, kind of like Noso was saying, like a women's shelter, a learning center for girls. Like in a perfect world, everyone would be able to have those opportunities regardless of where they live. Yeah. And this is why I said the physical pain thing. I would just have little babies. I just want children that look like me. Yeah. 20. I would have them to look like me. Exactly like me. I'm just kidding. Okay. And I want to leave a mark in the world. You guys, I want to go out with a bang. Like, I want to bring something unique and
leave a
new
legacy
to the world. Yeah, like I want to always be remembered for something. Well, I don't know. You know how I talk about wanting to help people and stuff like that. I don't know. I hope that I can come up with something that changes the way people think about the world in a positive way and in a way that creates change. So, for example, just throw that, like Martin Luther King Jr. Like, that name is never going to be wiped off the earth.
You want to be big, big.
No,
It doesn't have to be that big, because that man got a holiday, and I don't need a holiday.
What, Rosa Parks big? Because she's also big, but
She
not,
is
but she
big.
doesn't have a holiday.
True.
What?
I don't know. Maybe, like, I write a book or something.
No, it's really good.
Everyone's like that behind.
Everyone's read that book.
Or I do research that is innovative, right? So just something like that. I just really want to add to changing the world.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, that's all I can think of for right now.
Okay, period.
Rayon's ideal life. Let's go.
Okay,
We're here.
in my ideal life, I would be a congresswoman. And
Order in the court.
yep, I would. And I would also work
Be
for...
Speaker of the House.
No, for real. And I would, what would I do? I'd be a congresswoman, but I'd also have time for all of my hobbies, but not to do them just as hobbies, but to actually live them. Like, I do want to go sing at someone's wedding, or do this or do that. Also want to have time to paint and, like, do all the things that I love that really fulfill me. I want to be able to live a healthy lifestyle. Like, I want to go for runs on the beach and, like, eat at Erewhon and all that nonsense. It's like, I want my Erewhons, I want my McDonald's to be Erewhon. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And then,
Expensive McDonald's.
I know, yeah. Let's see, I really would want to have a family. I would love to adopt a bunch of kids. Like, that is the nearest and closest dream to my heart ever. And let's see, I would... I don't know, I think I kind of said it all. Like, I would just want to be doing what I love and feel fulfilled in every area. So, yeah.
Wow.
I just had a thought. Okay, I'd want to be like Brene Brown. Like that.
She's good.
Yeah.
I don't know everything about her, but I've read some of her books, and the way she talks about things, I'm like, it changes my brain chemistry. I'm like, why haven't I thought about it like that?
Yeah, she talks about courage and all of that. She's good.
Yeah, so just like someone that's respected and someone that people trust with information and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
She has a podcast, and I think she like interviewed Michelle Obama on her podcast, right? Like really big people.
Yeah.
Don't quote
And
me
obviously,
on that, but-
I think we'd all like to see this podcast go somewhere. I think that's
Yes.
a good dream.
So please
But,
keep watching, join us.
For real, yeah. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say also like interact with us, ask us any questions, tell us your stories, like if anything, if you resonate with anything or vibe with anything, or if you don't, like let us know. We're here for all conversations.
Yeah. Just a quick note, I am holding you guys to a standard now that you achieve your dreams. Like, I want it to be something that we actually do, because I think we come from a family that kind of pushes those dreams to the way backside and just lives on survival mode. But I want to see us do extraordinary things. Like, I want to see you do all the things you want to do. Like, I need to be able to see that with my own eyes one day. So.
And as we like to say in Arabic, inshallah.
Inshallah. Yeah.
Okay, that was so good. It was so fun to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Let us know what your BHAGs are, what your 2025 goals are, and
If you're doing them, if you're not.
If you like making goals or not, New Year's resolutions, and all that jazz. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Happy holidays. Bye.